Okay, hello everyone. In this lesson, I'm gonna teach you some of the basic commands in Small Basic. Now, if you don't know, if you can't code, this is probably the easiest way to start. So what we're gonna do is actually a common thing by people that can code, and that is something called Hello World. Now, this is actually the first thing you learn. So, what this actually is that you write a command that gets the program to write Hello World on the screen. Okay. So it's really easy. So we're gonna do this in text window, and text window is you can see it on the right side here. It's it's a window that pops on the screen when you run the program, and you can write in it. And it also gets some other features as well, but I'm gonna show you that later. First thing first, we're gonna write text window, and as you see, as I write, it came up a autocomplete window. So you use your arrow keys and just click down to the text window and hit enter. Now you hit write that, and here it is more opportunities. So what we're gonna do is use WriteLine. Now WriteLine is essentially what we use to write something. So you hit enter there, and as you see on the right, it tells you how you do this. So when it says WriteLine here, and in parentheses, I think you pronounce that, I'm not sure, but in this you have data. Now you don't just write data, but it's an example. So when you have data, if you want to write something, you use these little marks right here. I think it's called quote marks, but I'm not sure. So you write like this, and then a quote mark. Sorry, I'm not sure. And you do the same thing on the other side. And inside here, you can write what you want that the screen is gonna write, what is gonna be written on the screen. So we write hello world, hello world. No, sorry, there. And when we hit run here, or F5, whatever you want to, as a black window will pop up here, and that is essentially the text window. So we hit run, and you can see here, oh, I'm sorry, I wrote hello wrong. Hello world, there, sorry. It says hello world, and it says press any key to continue. That's the first thing we're gonna learn. So you have to know that inside this you can put whatever you're up to. Like you can just, I don't know, you can just put like hello, and it will write it. It writes it. As long as you have these quote marks, again, I don't think it quote quote marks. I just not good in English, but as long as they are there, because if you take this away, then it says it turns to black instead of orange, and if you hit run, you get the error, and it says the variable hello is unused, but its value is not assigned. Are you sure you have spelled it correctly? And that's this variable. It's the next thing I'm gonna talk about. So we take this away, and if I'm gonna explain this to you, a variable is a word you put instead of other words. Like like we got, let's just h equals. No, you write these marks here. Hello. Okay. So when a word we write h here, the big H here, it only means hello. It have because we have write that it only means hello here. So when we do the text window again, text window dot write line, text window dot write line here, and just write h. Now we don't need to just write hello in the quote marks because we have already done this. Yeah, so it just say hello because we have changed it here. So if we what is good with this is, let's say you have like like 5 of this, and you have written hello in all of these lines, and you want to change that to, for example, goodbye, then you have to change all of this over. And if you have a long program, you have to spot it and find it and change it. But here you just have to change the text in the variable. So if you say goodbye, I don't think it's that, but if we say goodbye isn't for hello, and that's only because of the variable. Okay, I hope you understood that, because that is really important. Now we're gonna talk about because these are maybe some pretty boring commands, but it's no action in it. So that's the next thing I'm gonna talk about. It's the command if. Now, if is lightly used in program. It's one of the most common commands in coding. So we can have like it says like if, it's if, you can say like if we I'm trying to think of something that is already there. Then if we write like h as a variable equals equals 1. Okay, so now if we write if h equals 1, which it actually is, then, oh, sorry. Then you can write then, and yeah, then it's then, and under here you write what is going to happen. Then you can like text window dot write line hello. Okay, so because it's something I learned you. And to end this command, you have to type end if. And if here. It comes up in the autocomplete. And hit enter. Then it is, what is gonna happen is, it knows that h equals 1, and then it goes to the if. If h equals 1, which it is, then it's gonna write here, text window dot write line, hello. Now we're gonna see that. Yeah, it did write hello. Okay, so now you have learned this, these 3 commands, and that we can do something with. So we can do to count, but then you have to learn a new thing, that is a loop. So if we write start here as a start here as a variable, and it have and it's just a text. It have nothing to mean. But if you write a colon, I don't know what it's called in English, but here it's the start of a loop. So if we write text window dot write line hello, and go to, and then start here. So then it will go from the top to the bottom, and it will read, oh yeah, text window dot write line hello. Yes, it's gonna write hello. And it says go to start, so it goes to the tab and write again, and it does that to the forever. It does it forever. So when we hit run again, you see it will only write hello in and you see it's longer and longer down here. But we don't want it endless, so I want to put something in here. So I want to take this a bit down and make some space here, and I want to make a variable. So let's see, L for loop. Okay, so L equals 0. Okay, so then it is 0. So now every time it goes in the loop, we can write L equals L plus 1. Okay, so every time it goes through the loop, it will add 1 to the 0. So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Yeah, you get it. But how can we do this to step? So we can do this by make some space here and write if again. If, okay? If L is bigger bigger than. It's what the symbol means. If you remember, if you can have, yeah, that's not important. It's bigger than. If it's bigger than, for example, 5, then we're gonna use a command that is called program. So program, here you can do some it's some stuff we can do here, but we're gonna do this bit. Wait. No, not. Gonna use this end. So you use program dot end, and then it will shut down the program. So it will write it 5 times and then stop it. Okay, if you run it. Oh, sorry. My mistake. You have to write end if. And if on each if you do, you have to write end if. Okay, so now it's real fast, so you can't see it. But if we try to take bigger, like let's say 50, it will, yeah, it's really fast. So we can just use 5 here, 5, and we can use something other in the program command, like program that it says here delay, and when you choose delay here you can write milliseconds. So it's what we can do, milliseconds, and it will write hello after we will go here, but it will wait which time limit we set. So if we take like 2000 milliseconds, it will go 2 seconds before it writes hello. Okay, so now we can actually see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the program ends. But it's better if we just cut it out and paste it here. That it's just only writing hello 5 times. So it's not being 6 because it's bigger than. So it's just under the if is over hello, so it's not bigger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 2 seconds and it will shut down. Okay, so I think we're gonna end it there. So I'm gonna make a new video with something that it's a bit more complicated. This is just basics. Okay, see you later.